plan, and then I have a backup plan, and then I have another backup plan, and then I have another backup plan. And there are like a zillion, trillion backup plans for everything.
Yeah.
I mean, people know me, and people who do really know me know that I'm honestly talking about this 100% right now. That I always have something at the back of my head. I'm ready. And I never care if a setback comes on, the next thing will happen, and I will sort it out, But I felt hopeless. I mean, well, obviously the rest of the world felt like that, but I only know what was in my own bones. After the first month, I just realized that I would be back in the country anyhow. It would be at a later stage of the same year. Mm-hmm. It would have happened the same year, that year, 2019. Let's never forget this year. If we can call it a year, to be fair. And then I just said, well, we had the scenario that we may open, and I just said, well, I'll try my best to see if I can find something. If I don't, and the hotel reopens and my job is back there, I will go for it. That's about it.
Yeah.
In the meantime, to be 100% honest, because I'm a very honest person, unfortunately, I never got a reply back sending my CV from literally jobs that were just for cleaning in the hospital, or do this or do something that obviously would not be forever. But I never got a reply. I don't really know why.
See, I think that is part of the battle that a lot of people have had with redundancies and with companies downsizing, etc., is every single job that is out there that is advertised. I mean, back in April, I think it was, they advertised for a host in one of the restaurants in town.
Yes.
In Manchester city centre, and it did make national news because I think in the space of one day it had about 1,000 applications, and there were general managers from other restaurants applying, and people who were essentially far overqualified for being essentially a host to a restaurant. And I think that was a lot of people's first realisation that we were going into a real shit show in terms of employment and jobs, that we were hitting this point of people are now scrambling for anything they can get.
I mean, the worst thing that I had seen at that point, and that really made me really angry, was that there was not an HR manager, and especially on LinkedIn, because LinkedIn is the special place for everyone to be a Superman of their own, which I do not agree with that. I'm sorry, I will never agree on this. You know my points of view. I mean,
I gave up with trying to be professional on LinkedIn. I started having arguments and expressing opinions, and I gave up with the whole sort of corporate facade that exists. So,
I mean, you have to sell that you are happy that you were made redundant. How would you like me to do so? Hi, please hire me. I just got fired. Well, that's not being happy. That's being paranoid and needing a psychiatrist ASAP. I'm sorry, guys. I do apologize about this, but it's true.
So we went through, obviously, the first lockdown period, and boom, I sort of dropped that grenade, and and then we headed into August. And beginning of August, there were conversations about reopening the hotel in time for August bank holiday. But to be fair, there were conversations potentially before August, but I'm going to be honest, all the weeks and days and months just merge into one at this point in my life.
I can imagine.
I don't even know what day it is anymore. It's Monday, but it feels like it should be a Saturday. It's strange. So we then started those conversations, and we reopened the hotel on 27th of August.
Yeah.
In time for August bank holiday. We weren't as busy as we wanted to be for August bank holiday, but let's be fair, given current climate and given all of the restrictions that there were on all the fear that was coming out of Greater Manchester at the time, because everyone was talking about how Manchester is this hotspot and about how Manchester has rising cases and blah, blah, blah. And Manchester sort of became the devil of the country, in a sense. It was always... Manchester is a place that you don't really want to go because you're going to get corona if you go there. That's how it felt in a lot of the media stories.
We saw it at a later stage that was not entirely not true. I mean, people, please get a grip and wear your mask. I mean, it is an inconvenience for most of us. I mean, I wear glasses. And I have to wear glasses every day because otherwise I'm a blind person. I mean, I am. And it is like the worst case scenario, having a mask, wearing glasses, where I can literally, every time I had to take the bus, because I walked a little bit faster to get to the bus stop, and as soon as the door opened, like, I couldn't see anything. At least I made the bus driver's day every day, to be fair, for like around a month that we stayed open for. That was the highlight, I think, of every bus driver that came across me in Manchester. Kudos for you guys. I don't hold a grudge if you were laughing at me for the rest of the day, to be fair. Just a small PS note there for each and every one of you.
I think that, so we had that opening in August, and I'm going to be perfectly honest, it felt fantastic. And when we had the first linen delivery, which was, I mean, that wasn't until the middle of September, because trying to get a laundry to get its arse into gear at this time of year when it's recovering from lockdown and we have custom linen and people are on furlough and working short hours and blah, blah, blah. So we had... Well, I still remember the Sunday where my spare room ended up looking like a laundrette. From washing pillowcases and duvets and figuring out how best to wash them and dry them and iron them, and Danai spending pretty much all of her shifts stood behind reception ironing pillowcases and duvets.
At some point, one of the guests just turned around and was shocked, and he was like, "Are you honestly ironing behind there?" And I was like, "Yeah. How do you think your linen gets changed every day?"
Luckily, a few days later, we had our linen delivered. And it was very strange for me, that moment, because it felt like a huge weight was lifted off my shoulders, because that delivery was the last point of getting us operational again.
Yes, it's true. It's true.
So it felt like a huge weight. It was, we are now open, and the joy that I felt... We
start rolling and...
We can start rolling now, and, you know, yeah, exactly. Toot, toot, train has left the station. And then we, literally a few days after that, it started talking about curfews, and then our lovely 10 p.m. curfew came in, and Danai saw me stressing majestically about the 10 p.m. curfew restriction. Our hotel here, we have reception and bar essentially in the same space, so it all forms part of the same licensed area of the hotel. Caused us a huge issue because after 10 p.m. we had to do room service only. We don't offer room service. Someone had to ring us to place an order, but we don't have phones in rooms. So, yeah, you can imagine the operational strains that we had. So, for us, in order to maintain compliance with the restrictions that there were, the only way was to close the bar and stop all service between 10 p.m. and 5 a.m. For us, it didn't make a massive amount of difference because we didn't really have that business. And we saw when we reopened the drop in the bar and restaurant side of things was huge compared to when we were open originally.
Yeah.
We'd have 10 people dining. It doesn't sound a lot, but 10 people dining is still a few £100 every single night. And now we're down to literally 50p, which is a member of staff buying a packet of Pringles.
Yes, we did.
Which is pretty much most of my F&B revenue.
We really like our snacks.
It literally was just staff buying Pringles and chocolate. And then, of course, the 1st of October rolled round. And, well, I say 1st of October, it's 30th of September, when at 6:30, 7 o'clock in the evening, I'm ringing everyone to let them know that we're closing the operation as of the following day.
I just picked up the phone, and it was so weird. I hear Matt's voice. I'm like, whoa, what happened? That's not good, you calling me on the landline. You have my mobile phone. Why are you calling here? I mean, I didn't receive a text or anything, and I didn't reply to you for like 2 hours in a row. And then, kaboom, Chernobyl, round 2.
So, was it easier the second time round, or was it actually harder the second time round?
I will tell you what I had in mind. I didn't want you to go through the same thing again. We had guests that we had to announce to them the news again, and we had to try. I actually started planning before that. We had a small conversation when I came in to start my shift, and I was just like balancing things around and was giving him some stats about how October was looking, and I was saying, well, maybe if we do this and we do that, it doesn't matter because it's not like too much to lose anyhow, and things like that. And then I got the call, and I was like, well, I could just leave everything for you in the morning. But what's the point in that? I mean, you would have had people actually cursing on you on that day, because it would be, first of all, it wouldn't be possible for you to find them like by checkout time and this and that, and I don't even know. And then I didn't want to leave the night team to have to bear news like that, and then have to explain, and what is there to explain? I mean, we just got an order. I mean, I just lost my job, and you just have to move out. It's simple as that. As simple as it can be.
I think sort of my overbearing memory of both closures is the one guest that we won't name, who But we love you. You know who you are. When we closed in March was one of the guests that we had to cut their stay short and kick them out, essentially, because we were closing the operation. And then we reopened, we welcomed them back. It was one of our regular guests. And then again, we had to cut their stay short and kick them out.
It was very, sorry to interrupt you, it was very, very surprising. The fact that I was the one to say, hey, we're open, when are you back, we can try to make this, and then he actually came, and I didn't see him, and he was already here for like 2, 3, 4 days, I don't even remember. And then I saw him, and we were like, wow, how are you, and how have things been, and blah, blah, blah. And then I just cut it straight down, and he was like, don't tell me again. These were his exact words. I was like, I have to tell you something. I don't really know how to. And as soon as these words left my mouth, he just turned around and he was like, well, are you closing down again? I was like, how could you even know? I mean, how could you even know? I didn't even know like half an hour ago. Why would you know? That's not all right. I mean, he was not very happy about it.